We're gonna do a very traditional eye makeup look, and it's very quick and very simple, and it will definitely make your eyes pop.
Perfect.
Let's start out with concealing around your eyes, just to get everything even, and so that when I put the eyeshadow on, we really see that and we don't see any type of discoloration. Okay?
Perfect.
So I'm using the Zuzu concealer, and I'm going to use the Mineral Fusion concealer brush, and I'm just patting and pressing right into under your eyes, right up to your lash line, and then right up here in the inner part, because that's the area that tends to cast a shadow that a lot of people think they have under eye circles, but they don't. Okay. And then I'm going in with a sponge and patting and pressing. Now look straight up for me. I'm going to start from the outside. And the great thing about this sponge is I can get it right up to your lash line. And then just blend it down. Whether you have a tinted moisturizer or a foundation on, just blend it down right into that. Now I'm going to set this, because concealer will crease like crazy if you don't set it with a powder. And what I'm going to use for that is the pressed powder foundation. And I'm actually going to go in with a sponge. Look straight up. And just start at the base of your lash line and work down. And lastly, I'm just going to blend with the powder brush. The next part we're going to go into is highlight. So I'm going to use these, the Mineral Fusion Trio, but I'm only going to use the highlighter, or the light color. So again, just using the eyeshadow brush, placing it, tapping off the excess, close your eyes. And I like to start, like I said, wherever you place it first is the most saturated. So right here, right under the arch of your eyebrow, and then work my way out. And just a little bit in. You don't need to use a lot of highlight in there. Okay. And finally, I'm going to add a little highlight to your eyelid. So I'm using the same shadow brush. Start right at the base, press it in. Okay. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to use the bronzer instead of an eyeshadow in your crease line or your contour. I'm going to use the matte bronzer from Mineral Fusion. And I'm going to start kind of in the center of your crease line. And just very gently go back and forth. And I'm starting at the center, like I said, because that's the area that's going to be the most saturated, that I really want to be contoured. And I just want it to lightly blend out into the center of the eye and then the outer eye. Okay, so the next part we're going to do is I'm going to use the bronzer that I used in your crease. I'm going to use it underneath your eyes just to give you a little bit more depth, but it's still going to look very natural, okay? So again, I'm using the contour brush. I'm going in with the bronzer, and again, I'm going to hold this perpendicular to your eye, and we can just press it, because I want a very soft look. And now I'm going to sweep it. So because we're doing a natural look, it's another reason why I chose the bronzer. Less is more, especially with a natural look. Now I'm going to go in with the eye pencil, and I'm going to use this right on your top lash line just to enhance your lash line and give you a little bit, it kind of lengthens your eyelashes. This is a really pretty taupe brown. Close your eyes. And I'm just placing it right on your lash line. Now the next step is mascara. I'm going to use a spoolie to put this on. And this is the Graphite Mineral Fusion Lengthening Mascara. Look straight down. Okay, so the center, the base, and kind of wiggle it. And I'll go to the outer corner. Get at the base, kind of wiggle it. Now I got a little bit of mascara on your eyelid, which happens all the time. I'm gonna let it dry and I'll show you a really easy trick to take it off so that you don't mess up your makeup, but I have to let it dry. So I'm gonna do the other eye.
Great.
All right, look straight down. All right. Okay. Now let's clean you off. Okay. So I have a clean cotton swab, look straight up. And I'm putting it right onto where the little mascara is, and then twist this. And it just removes it. Okay, so let's get the rest of your mascara on.
Okay.
Look down. So I'm gonna coat the top, and I'm just putting it at the base and twirling it up. And for the bottom, I just go back and forth. I don't put it on like I do on the top because it gets a little bit too thick sometimes. All right, last step, eyebrows. So the same pencil that I used on your lash line, I'm gonna use on your brows. I'm just going right along the edge of your brow and just doing little like hair-like motions. And really wherever I see a gap, that's where I'm filling in. Let's say you didn't have this pencil, but you have an eyeshadow that's a similar color. You can use an eyeshadow. All right. Let's brush off any excess of anything I see. And, all right. So that's it. That's a natural, it's a very basic standard makeup look. And again, you can take this from daytime, natural, into more dramatic evening look.
I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.